everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm back with another one of your guys' favorite segments, and also mine, which happens to be coffee and story time video. And I love making these when I'm drinking coffee because it helps me relax, and I find it's super good for me to have a cup of coffee while I tell you guys a story. And today's story time and coffee is going to be about the time I accidentally made a mistake and gave somebody some English toffee that had walnuts on it, and I didn't know this person was allergic to walnuts, and I felt extremely bad, and I didn't tell her ahead of time. So this is a story just to teach you guys how important it is to remember to ask people if they're allergic to anything before you give it to them. I just felt bad because I forgot to tell this person, and I felt so guilty, but luckily she was really nice, and she told me that's okay, blah, 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 blah. She was really nice about it because she knew that I didn't know. So I'm going to get started, and I hope this teaches you guys how important it is to ask people if they're allergic to anything before you give it to them, because you don't want to give them like bad reactions or and then feel bad. So here we go. So this all started almost 10 years ago. Actually, yeah, almost 10 years ago. It was around Christmas time, and it was the time my mom makes English toffee. So around Christmas time, for those who don't know, my mom makes this really nice English toffee recipe that everybody loves. I get so many people saying, oh, I love English toffee, I love this stuff, yada, 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 yada. And it's really popular, and she gets so many people that love it, and she brings some to work, and she used to give it to me and my brother to bring to our teachers at school. So she made English toffee, and so I decided to bring it to my Christmas party at program because I had told so many people about this recipe and how everybody loves it and yada, 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 and everyone's super excited. So she made me a batch to take to my program. So we went to the party. It was at a local place, and it had a couple supervisors from another program and other people from another program. So it was a really big party, and luckily I had made enough English toffee to go around. So I had brought it, and I gave everybody a piece, and everybody loved it, and they said it was delicious. So then the supervisor, I'm just going to call her Allergic just because she was allergic to walnuts, and the supervisor asked, could I try a piece of English toffee? And I'm like, sure. And I wasn't thinking, and I accidentally forgot to ask if she was allergic to nuts, because I'm sure you guys all know nut allergies are pretty common, that there are a lot of people who are allergic to nuts. So that's why I like to be careful nowadays to make sure people don't have any allergies to certain foods, because I like to warn them ahead of time. I don't know what I was thinking, but I completely forgot to warn the supervisor ahead of time. So the supervisor starts eating the toffee, and she looks at the nuts, and she notices the nuts on top, and she goes, what kind of nuts are those? And we're like, walnuts. And the supervisor goes, and she wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but I could tell something was wrong. So she runs out and then starts like spitting it out. And I knew she didn't want to do it with me looking. And I was like, is she okay? Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, she's allergic to walnuts. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I felt super bad because I didn't know that. And I gave her a piece of English toffee that had walnuts on it. And I really, really felt bad. And Allergic starts getting them out of her mouth as quickly as she can. And then she gets herself some water and stuff. I'm not sure what happens, but I think maybe her tongue gets swollen when she would eat it. I can't remember why. I know there's some people that have difficulty breathing when it comes to eating nuts and stuff, or sometimes they get skin rashes, but this supervisor literally spit it out right away, and I think maybe just her tongue gets swollen or something, I don't know. And I felt really, really bad, and I was hoping she was okay. And then they're like, don't worry, she'll be fine. Her tongue just gets swollen from the walnuts, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, phew. So after the supervisor's done, like, getting rid of the toffee, she comes back and I said, I'm so sorry. So like I said, her name is Allergic. I apologize to Allergic for accidentally giving her the English toffee. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were allergic to walnuts. And I was kind of like freaking out because I felt really, really bad. And she was like, oh no, that's okay. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I should have checked before you gave it to me, and I should have told you I was allergic to walnuts, yada, yada, yada. And I just really, really felt bad. But I'm glad she was really nice about it, and I'm really glad she was okay, because if something really bad happened to her, I would have felt super bad that I gave her something that she was allergic to walnuts. So after she was done with that, she ended up eating something else, like a cookie or something, at the holiday party. And then we just kind of kept the toffee, moved the toffee to a different table so then she wouldn't accidentally eat it by mistake, because we didn't want her to have a swollen tongue or anything. So the moral of the story is, it's always important to let people know if it has certain ingredients they're allergic to on. Like, if you make a recipe and give it to people, you should always make sure people aren't allergic to the ingredient that you in the recipe that you brought to a party, because you don't want to accidentally give it to them and then have them have a medical issue, or else you're gonna feel really bad. Luckily, this supervisor was all right when I gave her the English toffee, and I just felt super bad, but I'm glad she was still okay, because she got it out of her mouth right away. And you should always just make sure and double check if people are allergic to anything before you give it to them, and let them know what ingredients are in it. And you should just keep it a bit safe, and then only give it to the people who don't have food allergies. But just always be mindful before you give people stuff, because you don't want them to have like really bad allergic reactions, or else you're gonna feel bad. So that was a story about how I accidentally gave a supervisor a piece of English toffee that had walnuts on it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned a valuable lesson about how important it is to ask people if they're allergic to certain ingredients before you give it to them, because you don't want to give them a bad reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons, and I definitely learned how important it was to double check if people were allergic to things before you give it to them. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.